other thing would be to try to go down.
Hi, my name is Phil Howard. I'm a professor in the School of Public Policy at Central European University. I direct the Center for Media and Communication Studies within the School of Public Policy. My research background is in technology diffusion and political change, so I'm particularly interested in what happens when the internet and mobile phones come to an emerging democracy or an authoritarian regime in a big way. Many of the classes I offer will be about how governments use media to manipulate the public and how people use media to push back on government. What's going on now, particularly in authoritarian regimes where dictators tend to do public policy that privileges broadcast media, and civil society actors tend to do their creative work online. This is the new Cold War. Over the last 10 years, we've seen quite a few political changes, and several of these changes are due to the rapid diffusion of digital media. Understanding what political life will be like in the years ahead involves understanding these technology trends. Almost all the stories of the creative use of digital media in authoritarian countries have these sort of two-sided outcomes. I teach two classes at SPP. I'll teach the core introductory class, the Introduction to Communication and Global Politics, and I teach a more specialized class on digital media in authoritarian regimes. This is a story from Russia, the double-sided outcomes. The Russian government decided for its last election that there would be webcams in every polling station in the country. The first class is a required class for the program, and it's a broad introduction to the importance of media and media strategy in the modern policymaking process. Spent hundreds of thousands of dollars wiring up these polling stations, putting cameras, capturing the video. All of it went to an online archive. The second class is a little more specialized. It's a focused look at authoritarian regimes and some emerging democracies and their use of information policy and media policy. Within 2 weeks, just before the election, the national elections administrators decided that video evidence of fraud would not be admissible. I decided to teach at SPP because of the diversity of students. I'm really looking forward to meeting a wide range of people from a large number of countries. And it's that diversity in country experience that will make the classes very rich. This is 15 minutes from different polling stations around the country. These are people voting over and over again. This woman comes back multiple times. At one point you'll see the administrator get up and vote. It'll become nighttime and you'll see him get up and vote several times. I also came because SPP and CEU more generally is in Budapest. It's at the center of modern political life in Europe. In many ways it's positioned, it's the gateway city for Central Asia, between Europe and the West. So this is where a lot of the interesting research is being done, and this is where the important conversations are being had. For Russians, there is nothing interesting about this highlight reel because it is part of what they experience when they run an election. This time, however, there's some documentation. Nothing came of it in the sense that Putin's still in charge. There was not a significant regime change. The students who take my class should be willing to share some of their own observations of the countries they're from. We'll be talking about a lot of real-world issues, and in some cases we'll actually change the syllabus to reflect what's going on in international affairs. After the election, the cameras were redistributed to local administrators who have started using the cameras to track construction projects that don't seem to make any progress. We'll make a lot of use of case studies. We'll explore the relationship between technology diffusion and change. We'll have some very traditional readings from scholars, from analysts around the world, but there'll also be contemporary policy documents and some journalism, pieces of modern magazine writing that actually do a good job of capturing the directions of international relations in the years ahead. So they do this now live tracking to see when the cranes are actually moving, when things are actually being built. This infrastructure was rolled out by the state, not used, but then got repurposed in a way unexpected by the regime. Having an impact on global public policy in the next few years is going to mean having policymakers who can use digital media in creative ways to get their ideas out. It's also going to mean having public policymakers who understand technology trends and the impact of those trends on the policy-making process.